Good evening, everyone. Myself, Ashu Sharma. I welcome you in series of compiler design. So today we will discuss the role of the parser and some of the concepts that of grammar, which is the recursive one. So here, as we know that in compiler, we have a lexical analyzer, and once this phase is over, the next phase that in the follow-up is syntax analyzer, which is parser. So whenever that parser requests for next token, that lexical analyzer having that responsibility of giving that token to the parser. So as per this diagram also, that source program is something which is modified version of a program that is written by the programmer, and it passes through the preprocessor. So it comes with that modified version of source programs in form of lexemes, and once it passes through the lexical analyzer, it generates valid tokens. So if tokens are valid, then only it passes through that parser phase. Otherwise, it will stop and it shows the error. So here we have in this diagram, we have tokens that is processing towards parser, and parser is requesting to get next token from the lexical analyzer. In this way, this whole process just begin. After that, parser outcome is in the form of that a cyclic structure, which is a parse tree, also considered as syntax tree, and then rest of that front end with intermediate representation. So all these phases are connected with this symbol table, and these phases also connect with that error handler. So this is that the position when we talk about that parser having that semantic analysis and that lexical analyzer. So in between that, we have this syntax analyzer. So this is the way this role of that parser begins. And we may say also one thing that we just expect that parser to report any syntax error in an intelligible fashion and to recover from the commonly occurring errors to continue processing the remainder of the program. Conceptually, for well-formed programs, the parser constructs a parse tree and passes it to the rest of the compiler for further processing. In fact, the parse tree need not be constructed explicitly, since checking and translation actions can be interspersed with the parsing. So we will see later on this series, thus the parser and the rest of the front end could well be implemented by a single module. So how it exactly working, this is that the discussion that we have. Now come to the next, when we talk about, there are three general type of parsers. So as we have that universal, which is the universal one, and for the grammars, as we say, next one is the top down and the bottom up. So universal parsing methods such as Coq-Young or Cosme algorithms and Arley's algorithms can parse any grammar. So these general methods are, however, too inefficient to use in production compilers. And the methods commonly used in compilers can be classified as being either top-down or bottom-up. So as implied by their names, that top-down methods build parse tree from top root to the bottom leaves, while bottom-up methods starts from the leaves and work their way up to the root. So this is the way that these two are in commonly used for the compilers, that we have this top down and the bottom up. In either case, the input to the parser is scanned from the left to right, one symbol at a time. So this is the way that scanning happens. And it generates tree. So this is that we have the most efficient top-down and bottom-up methods that work only for subclasses of grammars, but several of these classes, particularly LL and LR grammars, are expressive enough to describe most of the syntactic construct for most of the modern programming languages. So in order to just see this, that we have some representation in form of the grammar. So some of the grammars that will be examined in this series or in this chapters are presented here. So we have this just given production rules, and most of the time you find that construct that begins with the keyword like while and ain't, or something, some other keywords that relatively easy to parse, because the keywords guides the choice of the grammar that production that must be applied to match the input. So it just guides about that the choice of the grammar that production that must be applied to match the input string. So We therefore concentrate on expressions which present more of the challenges because of associativity, having equal precedence operators or precedence of operators in the expressions. So here we have this one example, that expression grammar, that 4.1. It belongs to the class of LR grammars. Here E represents that expression, which consists of terms separated by plus sign, then T again a terms that consisting of a factor that asterisk sign, and F represents the factors that can be either parenthesized expression or identifiers. So this is one of that example. We used to just use these productions for that is scanning purpose as well, and to make that parse tree later on in this series. So here we have this expression 4.1 that belongs to the class of LR grammars that are suitable for bottom-up parsing. So it is suitable for bottom-up parsing, and this grammar can be adopted to handle additional operators and additional level of precedence. Now, it cannot be used for top-down parsing because it is left recursive. So now there is a question that comes, that what exactly the recursive and what exactly the left recursive and the right recursive. So later part we will see that first. Next, I just shared that slide as well. So this is on the basis of the number of strings, the type of the grammar that we divide into two parts, the recursive one and the non-recursive grammar. So recursive grammar having left recursive nature and right recursive nature in form of that grammar rule. Here we have a recursive grammar. So a grammar is said to be recursive if it contains at least one production that has the same variable at both its left hand side and right hand side. So a grammar is said to be recursive when we have if and only if it generates infinite number of strings. So a recursive grammar may be either left recursive or right recursive. So one thing is clear, that if it contains at least one production that has the same variable at both its left hand side and right hand side. And a grammar is said to be recursive if and only if it generates infinite number of strings. So these are two behavior of recursive grammar when we further categorized into the manner that left recursive one and the right recursive grammar. So left recursive grammar is something you may say a recursive grammar is said to be left recursive if the leftmost variable of right hand side is same as of LHS left hand side. So leftmost variable which is appearing on the right hand side, it should be similar, it should be same as a variable of left hand side. Or you may say a recursive grammar is said to be left recursive, it has left recursion. So this is the way that we have one example that that implements or just SA oblique B. So here we have this S on the right hand side, which is the leftmost variable. It is same as LHS. So this is the way this left recursive grammar you may conclude. And the right recursive grammar is very similar, but just only the difference is the rightmost variables. So a recursive grammar is said to be right recursive if the rightmost variable of the RHS is same as the variable of LHS. Or a recursive grammar is said to be right recursive if it has right recursion. So this is the way that we may have this example that S that tends towards AS drives B and oblique B. So this is that S which is appearing rightmost on the right hand side and which is very same that LHS variable. So this is right recursive nature and right recursive grammar. So one of these examples, wonderful examples. And non-recursive grammar is something, a grammar is said to be non-recursive if it contains no production that has the same variable at both its left hand side and right hand side. Or a grammar is said to be non-recursive if and only if it generates finite number of strings. In recursive, it generates infinite number of strings, but in non-recursive, it generates finite number of strings. A non-recursive grammar has neither left recursion and nor right recursion. So this is the way it brings that definition. And now for next lecture, we will discuss some of these examples of the grammar techniques and the parsing techniques, which is top and down and bottom and up. So thank you very much. If you like these videos, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you may get the notification of the latest uploaded video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.